Do you want early access? Do you want uncut reactions? If so, then check out our Patreon. Link in the description down below. So this dude just has no chill. Just wants to absolutely ruin everyone's day because he's, you know, kind of a selfish prick. But hey, he's a criminal. What do you expect? Albeit, you know, he says, but I'm not a violent criminal. You don't have to be a violent criminal to be an asshole.
He doesn't know the context that he's risking fucking up the...
Yeah, it's just, it sucks that it has to go to that level, you know? It has to, you know, basically just be, I'm a proud criminal and I shall prove myself. It's just like, you don't know what the hell you're trying to ruin. He's like, I don't really care. It's like, because he doesn't, yeah, but...
Well, to him, it's just like, oh, this kid is just passionate about his, you know, school festival and doesn't want us to mess it up. He doesn't know the context behind, like, there's a little girl who has been tortured for her entire life that we just rescued, that's coming here to have fun for basically the first time ever, that we've made a bunch of promises to.
Yeah.
And they've promised us that if anything happens even slightly suspicious, they're going to cancel the whole thing. And I'm going to literally rip your head off of your body and shove it backwards down your neck if that happens.
Oh yeah, like if
I'm gonna have La Brava film it.
If Gentle had even seen like a glimpse of his fight with Overhaul, he probably would have wet himself and just put the handcuffs on himself.
He would just be like, "Take me away."
Yeah.
Yes. So, again, you know, we'll just see how it all plays out. But
it'd be like, imagine if like. You could try to appeal to him and be like, imagine if like that happened to her, you know? Like,
yeah.
I feel like something like that will happen because she said like, I see a lot of you in that boy, and then he said something about like how he used to be like a student or like an aspiring hero like you. So there's something going on there. There's definitely a connection between these two.
Yeah. We'll just have to see what's gonna happen. Here we go.
I figure you're a shoo-in because of all your fans from that commercial. If you win, Class B will be even more plus ultra than the losers in Class A. More importantly...
Hey, hold the phone. It's not fair to say Kender will win this. It's still anyone's game.
Nejire Hado!
This'll be fun, won't it? I agree. I'm looking forward to it. Bless your hearts. See for yourself.
Yikes.
Baby me Kenrenzaki!
You might put someone's eye out with those eyelashes. Jesus.
Yep.
They're getting longer.
They are.
I bet you're hyped to see Midoriya, right? And his dance moves?
Permission to leave the campus. This morning?
Yeah. He said there was something he had to buy before their concert.
I hope he's not doing anything too naughty.
Why do you phrase it like that?
Because she's midnight. That's how she rolls. But.
I see you in that boy. Neither of you are going to give up.
Phrasing.
I think it's time. Let's use
Damn it!
quirk.
Of course, Nick, you had to throw that in there too.
His air membranes are invisible, but they're definitely still around.
The things I elasticize return to normal gradually over time.
Yeet!
Track their movements. I'd like to save your quirk until the situation becomes more dire. And he's fast!
One of them's above this tree!
Nice.
Are you okay?
Game over.
In the past, Gentle would have run away as soon as he was discovered.
I am betting my soul and my prized mustache on this audacious festival scheme.
He doesn't want to lose his mustache. That explains it all.
Get this. You know Iba, that short girl in Class 3? I've never even talked to her. But she sent me a love letter based on the weird stuff she knew. She's been stalking me. It's so creepy. There were pages and pages. I've got to show you.
Gross. What a psycho. It's kind of scary.
I worked up the courage to write a love note to a boy who ended up mocking me. After that, I lost faith in basically everything. All I did was stare at my computer. Maybe I should just say goodbye to this life.
A good day to you, dear viewers. Yes, this is I before you, Gentle Criminal.
That's when I first discovered you. You brought light back to my life. I can't get rid of these dark circles. I hope he doesn't think I'm a weirdo. I'm sorry I hacked into your account to get your address. I'm a fan and I want to help you. And you were so, so kind. You didn't make fun of my feelings. You accepted me wholly.
I've been thinking of your codename. How does La Brava sound to you? You're the perfect partner, and your codename should reflect that.
My darling Gentle.
I'll hand you over to the police as soon as I can.
I love you, Gentle.
And I you, my La Brava.
Her quirk? Love. By professing her love to the person she has feelings for, she can temporarily power up the object of her affection.
Uh-oh.
Ah, love. Such a powerful thing.
Yeah.
That's... okay.
Apologies, lad. I abhor using brute force. It would be best if you took a nap.
Fought against stronger, faster people than you, and beaten them. This isn't over. I haven't lost. The UA School Festival starts now!
This is impossible.
No way!
That was our last resort.
Gentle! No! I'm sorry! Forgive me, but it seems like my love wasn't strong enough to help!
Gently sandwich!
Ouch.
The thinner the sandwich, the more elegant it's considered. I do regret having to pile on so many layers, but I suppose it can't be helped. Unless I want my name to fade, I must persevere. My aims are not so trivial I would abandon them, only because you asked. You must understand what it means to yearn for a goal.
I do! If you understand that, then why would you target the school festival?
There's no other way!
It's for your dream! So nothing else matters? You'll get the whole event canceled! And take the happiness away from a girl who doesn't even know how to smile yet!
If that's what it takes to achieve my goal! My dream is to become a pro. A hero great enough to be written about in textbooks one day.
Things aren't looking good for you, Tobita. Our school isn't exactly difficult, yet your grades are horrible and you keep getting held back. On top of that, this is the 4th time you failed the provisional licensing exam.
Emergency! Call the hero! He's gonna fall!
I thought that with my quirk, I could make a cushion.
Your actions interfered with a pro's rescue attempt. I have to charge you with obstructing official hero duties. That will go on your record, of course.
I had already abandoned my dream. And then... Takashita! You formed your own agency! That's wonderful! You must remember me from school.
What was your name again?
That's when I knew. I'd been forgotten. No. Never. I have time!
Gentle! We use lever mode as a way to escape in a hurry, not like this!
We will prevail!
I won't mock you, but I can't let you go to UA!
You! Tell me, why is it you want to be a hero?
I'm the same as you, Gentle. My dream isn't just my own anymore. For everyone who's acknowledged me, I'll become a hero. Plenty of people in this world are hurting. And so, I want to become someone who can show them a bright future!
Yes.
This program I created has to work. Oh no, I can't connect from this far away. I need to get closer.
Oh, no! It's dangerous to go alone. Tell me. still believe me to be an unworthy opponent?
Cool.
Oh, that's foot.
St. Louis?
Oh.
You were my toughest opponent. Because you are someone I can understand.
Run. Save yourself.
The power-up from the Brava's quirk is temporary and can only be used once per day.
Oh.
No, stop! Get off him! Now! Gentle poured his whole heart into this scheme. He even forgot to take his beloved tea breaks while he worked. Don't take it from me, please! I'll have nothing left!
La Brava. That would make you an accomplice to my misdeeds.
Yes, but I've already committed plenty of crimes with my hacking. As long as I'm by your side, I'll be happy.
Would you have found joy if you'd escaped alone? Would you have found a new life?
I'll die before I let anyone take you from me!
I'm sure you would have gone on to commit crimes far more heinous than we have. I'm the one who brought you here, who accepted you and made you my partner, who got you involved. La Brava, I hope you know that I am happy with you. It'll be obvious that you are my accomplice. In which case...
Uh-oh.
The least I can do is make it look as though this fight never happened. Such a passionate young boy. You should be proud. You protected everything you stood for. And won. I'm afraid I took a tumble in the park. I'm turning myself in.
That's not going to be enough to make it look like the fight never happened. Especially when Midoriya literally falls out of the sky and, like, I'm sure Hound Dog could smell him the whole time.
Probably.
And the explosions.
Yeah, he'll probably just be like, why does it smell like angsty teenager?
Yeah. What does it smell like All Might up in here?
But honestly, I think here's the thing. I can find myself in a certain way relating with Gentle Criminal because I didn't do that well in school. I had aspirations to do things. I wanted to be a teacher, and I actually wanted to be a history teacher, and I went to college to get my degree so that I could teach history. And then I ran into a history teacher that literally killed my love for instruction because it showed me just how even at the highest of educations people can be so corrupt in their own ways that they're willing to flunk you simply because they knew more than you.
Isn't that kind of the point of seeking out teachers? I mean, like...
Well, yeah. Well, the teacher that I specifically ran into was one at where I went to college, UVA, and then the instructor, I pretty much just like told him like he idolized Paul Revere, and I'm like, Paul Revere was one of the Midnight Riders, but he wasn't like the most important.
Oh, okay. So I got you. I misunderstood. It was like, well, teachers should, I thought you meant the teacher.
No.
More than I'm like, well, teachers are supposed to know more than you.
No. I knew more than the teacher, and the teacher got his pride hurt, and he flunked me from the class and told me to get out.
Which is unfortunate because anyone that becomes a teacher is because they love learning. So
And apparently he didn't love learning. Well,
teachers really should still be students.
Probably just loved feeling smarter than everybody else in the room.
Well, not only that, but he was also like a celebrity for the school because he worked on all these documentaries and these people. He worked on a show called Who Do You Think You Are, which had like Ashley Judd, Ben Affleck, all these actors and everything on it, and they were like went back through their family history and found out where their family members were and everything. And he was called in as like an expert, and I pretty much showed him up, and he flunked me, and that was that. And they wouldn't fire him or even question his authority because he was tenured.
Oh yeah, sure.
And yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
basically that just made me just like say to hell with this whole fucked up system.
The school systems and the universities are basically garbage in this.
Well, they're gigantic daycare centers, dude. What do you expect?
Yeah.
That's all they are. Giant, expensive daycare centers that rack up debt for people so that they never escape it later in life. That's the effect. And people want to say, well, blame the big banks. Like, banks have not handed out loans for colleges because they are such a risky predicament. The only ones that offer loans are the federal government. That's the thing.
My credit union gave me a loan for it.
But, yeah, all in all, though, man, you see...
Which I only managed to pay back because my dad helped me out with it, so...
We should start a hero school.
Yeah. With you as like the Batman.
Oh, no, I'm going to be in the corner sleeping bag.
Which, to be fair, by the way, like, the reason my dad helped me with it is because I was actually of the thought that, like, no, straight out of high school, I would really like to work for a little while and save some money to go towards college so that I don't have to take out loans and go into debt.
Yeah.
And my parents were like, no, you're going straight to college. So it's like they basically forced me to go into debt for something I didn't want to do. Well, and so that, like, whenever it ended up not working out, like, my dad, I guess, you know, finally realized that that was a dumb idea. Well, helped me out with paying back some of the debt.
I went to a community
I still
college.
technically owe $7,000 that I did take from the government, but luckily the government's like, oh, you're a poor bastard, so you can pay that back whenever you're not a poor bastard if that ever happens.
Yeah. I remembered when I went to community college my first 2 years, they pretty much, I got a Pell Grant that paid for, I think it was 10 credit hours. So I was able to take 10 credit hours per semester, and I was happy with that. I wanted to do more, but in order to do more, I had to, I would have had to have gotten a student loan. But thankfully, I didn't get a student loan until after I got out of community college. And then it very quickly racked up. I think it was over $5,000 like that in a heartbeat. And then I was just like, well, okay, now what? I guess I don't have a degree, don't have anything to show for it. I work basically a low rent job, so. And then I started doing this full time, and then I paid off my student loan within I think it was 6 months. So I was very happy about that. But still, that was when I was living with my mom still, and I didn't have to worry about paying rent or utilities or anything like that. So I was just like happy enough for that. But I can relate to Gentle Criminal because I was never that good in school, and I sort of had no direction until I was 25. I never even considered YouTube a possibility because I could never get things to work. I could never get things to... Because I tried to, get a capture card. Turns out the capture card was bunk. I couldn't get it to work or anything like that, so I tried to return it. They said, this is actually non-returnable. We're sorry. So there goes $95 down the drain right there. And then it's like, you need a laptop that's got this. Like, that laptop costs $400. I don't have that kind of money. Sucks for that. That's when I started working at Sprint, and then I was like, okay, maybe I can buy things incrementally and build myself up from there. And then that's how this all started.
I gotta say, La Brava's background story, that's every emo kid from middle school, basically even the not emo kids, but everybody's had that shit happen to them where they profess their love for somebody and the other person mocked them instead.
Yeah.
Pretty much. I don't know many people that hasn't happened to, but
Heart stomped multiple times.
Yeah, and obviously it feels like the world is ending whenever it happens, but it's fucking not. And I don't really...
You don't have that much sympathy.
Yeah, I don't have any sympathy for being I'm gonna go become a criminal and support this criminal because I got made fun of by someone I asked out, because that's happened to me before, and I really, you know, it wasn't the fucking end of the world, and I feel like it's kind of just absurd. Like, I don't know. Like, I understand, like, whenever it happens the first time, it feels like, you know, you should just go kill yourself or something. But like, literally, like, you realize how dumb that is later on, especially at that age. Like, relationships at that age are utterly pointless.
Yeah.
Like, if anything, they give you, like, a little bit of experience for later, maybe. But honestly, they're not even good experience for later on because, like, adult relationships are completely different from, like, middle school, high school relationships. And it's just, like, feeling like you have to, like, you know, be that upset over it. It's just, you realize later on how, like, silly you were for being that upset about it.
Yeah.
And so I don't know.
I get that.
It's kind of ridiculous that at that age, like, and him being a quote unquote gentleman criminal even decided to take her in after hearing that story. Like, you know, I feel like a better person would have, and a gentleman would have been like, hey, look, you feel like this is the end of the world because this happened to you, but it's not. Fucking not. And like, you know, and be like, I would be fine with being your friend, but I don't want you involved with my crimes. Like, you know, and
well,
it's just a bad idea.
Well, there was a kid I knew, you know, Shane, you know, nice kid, sweet kid. We hung out sometimes. Hung out at lunch a bit. He was gay. The thing about him was he couldn't find a relationship in high school because, you know, not a lot of prospects. Because this was back in, like, early to mid 2000s where, you know, dudes were still not willing to, like, profess anything or just, you know, also, you know, we live in the Bible Belt, so not a lot of people were willing to come forward. But I remember, like, me and him were smoking weed one night, and we were both just like, man, high school relationships are bullshit, man. And he's just like, says you, man. I mean, you're like, he goes, says you, man. I mean, you've been in relationships. I mean, me, I can't find anybody, man. That's just it for me. I'm just gonna be like this for the rest of my life. And I'm like, Shane, we're in high school, man. I have 2 cousins who are both gay, and they have found perfectly stable relationships later in life. Right now, and I remember my dad telling me this. He said, like, my dad always told me, you know, the older you get, the faster your life goes. The faster, like, you perceive your life going. It's because the amount of time you've been here increases, and thus the amount of time, like, for instance, 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 4 year, and it gets shorter and shorter.
You feel like you have left is less and less.
Yes, yeah, and
which is terrifying to me. Like, not a good thing to think about as someone who's fucking terrified of death.
No, but it's not that.
You think when you're 10 years old, 1 year is a tenth of your life. It seems massive.
Exactly.
High school, a year took forever.
Yeah, and that's why I told Shane, like, dude, you like, once you get out of here and you get out there with people who are able to be themselves like you can, you're going to find someone. You're going to find someone who's going to care about you. You're going to find someone who likes you. And trust me, you know, and that was the main reason why me and him got along so well was because I told him, you know, I had 2 gay cousins, you know, both of them were out. There was no hiding it. And I told him, you know, they were just like, that's just how it is. I mean, you're going to have struggles in life. There is no person in life that does not go through a struggle at least once in their life. You're not going to have a perfect, like, fairy tale. It's not like Prince Charming or, you know, you're going to be Prince Charming. You're going to sweep someone off their feet and carry him out of the textile factory like at the end of An Officer and a Gentleman. It's not always going to be like that. There's going to be times you're going to fall in love with people. You're going to think that this is how my life is going to be. Then they're going to rip your fucking heart out. And then they're just going to move on as if nothing happened and leave you a twisted wreck of a human being for you to pick up the pieces. That's just how it is. Life has never been perfect and never will be. And don't expect it to be. But, yeah. Anyway, that's going to do that. This was My Hero Academia, Season 4, Episode 22. Looks like Gentle Criminal going to jail. He's going down. So that's going to do it, ladies and gentlemen. I guess we'll see you in the next one. I'm Nate.
Micah.
I'm Nick.
We'll see you then. Peace out.